I have three girls in one room, and if we do not have a space for everything, then this is what it tends to look like. So I decided that it is time to focus on this room and get it 100% done. My husband and I decided 4 years ago that we wanted to renovate a house and turn it into a home. Since then, we've lived in it for 2 years, and this will be our second time painting my girls' room. They all agreed that they loved the color green, so it made it so simple and easy to pick the shade for their room. I put everything back once the paint was done. I added a crochet hat holder that I made. I updated and painted their vintage dresser, hung this very cute antique mirror, made this cute wood rack with hooks to hang their linen hampers. And now that you are caught up with all of the DIYs that I did for my girls' room, I want to take you on this journey with me to finish this room. Next up is the space underneath my girls' triple bunk loft bed. We are going to transform this space into a dreamy reading area. Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome back to another Babalu Designs video. My name is Alyssa, and today I want to get started on finishing my girls' room. So the plan for today is to make kind of like a reading nook area underneath their triple bunk. They have a space underneath one of the bunk beds that I have turned into like a reading area, but I kind of want to make like a canopy tent type of thing. So I'm going to try to find some old sheets, maybe some curtains, I don't know, whatever I can find, and make that tent area. And then I bought a bunch of pillows to put on the ground just to make it super comfy in there and something that they'll love. They love to read, and I just want to give them the best space possible. So let's get started on that and see how much we can get done today. First things first, you always got to start with a good cleaning, obviously. I started with clearing out this area and vacuuming the carpet before I removed the carpet. Next, I grabbed some boxes that I had on hand so I can go through all of their books and get them out of this area. My girls have so many books. It was time to take these books and take them to the living room. I am the type of person that likes to take the mess outside of the room that I'm working on. My plan is to get them out in the living room so I can go through them after I get this section of the room cleaned up and ready to go. And do not mind my cat. He will be popping in and out of the screen because he is a playful little guy. Almost done cleaning now, so I'm going to throw this rug into the wash. Now time to go through my kids' books. Thankfully, they were home and they could help me choose and pick which ones that they actually read and the ones that they are no longer interested in. So I finally decided on just taking the sheets that my girls don't use. I actually only use fitted sheets for my girls' beds. I don't use the flat sheet. So I'm going to use these extra flat sheets that I have, and I'm going to turn them into my tent for their reading area. The trickiest part with this was trying to find out how I wanted it to be laid out. I used these slats of wood that were underneath the top bunk. And honestly, I feel like this worked out the best, especially if you're going to make a reading nook area underneath a loft bed. You can use the slats of wood to anchor all of your sheets. And I mean, you won't have to worry about them coming out. And it's not permanent. So you can move it as much as you need to really figure out your layout for your sheets. This is what it's looking like so far. And I'm going to use safety pins to start securing that back part up into the top that I put underneath the wood slats. The safety pins really do work. So just in case you want to do that, make sure you have safety pins on hand. I was able to create the tent with just two of my flat sheets. And now I'm going to add the bookcase back and just kind of see what this is going to look like up against this tent area. Now time for the fun part. This honestly was the best part of the whole thing, is trying to figure out where the cushions were going to go. And if you're curious, I bought these cushions from Walmart and I think they were 20 bucks. Really affordable for some floor cushions, especially when you're trying to create a dreamy nook area for your girls, but you don't have a lot of money to spend. This is definitely something that could be within a budget type of thing. So don't stress if you don't have a lot of money. All of these were pretty affordable. I wanted a more of a curtain-like appearance for this tent area. I didn't want the front of the sheet to be hanging down too much. I wanted it to feel open enough where it doesn't feel closed off, but enough that they have like privacy. So what I'm going to do is scrunch up this area, and I'm going to use a cute little ribbon to make like a bow around that sheet and kind of gather it so that it has like that curtain like effect to it. Before I do that, I am taking some double-sided tape so I can stick that curtain behind the bookcase to the bookcase. I don't want it moving all the time. I think it would be a pain, so I'm going to try to stick it to the bookcase so it stays put. I picked the emerald green ribbon that I had on hand. It's thin and it has like the scalloped edges on the side. It's really cute, but I figured since I have the green curtains and I'm already doing like this green theme, I'll keep the green going. So that's why I chose this thin green ribbon. Now that I tied that cute little bow around that curtain like part of the sheet, I'm going to secure it to the back of the sheet, the back part of it, the backdrop, I guess you could say. So that way it kind of stays secure and it doesn't move. I did end up purchasing a long body pillow from Walmart as well. It was about $10. It just needed more cushion back there. And I'm not loving the pink, so I might buy a cream pillowcase for it instead. I swear Walmart is not sponsoring this, but this was also found at Walmart on sale for $7. And they're these little disco lights. I could not pass them up. I think they'll be the perfect addition for their cute little reading nook. And I just couldn't pass them up. So $7, you can't beat that. To hang these disco lights, I am using the slats of wood, but I'm also using some double-sided tape for the parts that needed to probably stick just a little bit more, and I couldn't use a slat for that. So, I mean, double-sided tape comes a long way when you're making your reading nook, just so you know. I also use some double-sided tape to tape the battery box to the back of the on the back behind the sheets, just so you won't see it, but it's there on the bed so that you can still get to it. And look how cute these turned out. Now it's time to put all of these books back in an orderly fashion, and hopefully my kids can keep it that way. I'm trying my best to just keep it organized to where it's simple for them to organize, and I won't have to stress about it if they don't do it exactly how I do it. So either way, but this is how it's turning out. Look how cute. Unfortunately, I could not fit all of my girls' books in there. My daughter is a very big Warrior Cat book fan, so I had to get one of the underbed bins and put most of her Warrior Cat books in there. I mean, look how many she has. She has a collection. So now I freed up some space in the bookcase. I did end up buying two more of these bins so that I can have more storage underneath the bed. Part of it is one of the bins is going to be for blankets, throws, and stuff that I cannot fit in their little throw basket, extra sheets, all of those good things. And then also, I'm having one of the bins be for their toys, like their Barbies and their babies. So that's my plan for under the bed storage, trying to free up some of that treasure box space because there it was just crammed with a bunch of things. I have this cute little basket off to the side of their bookcase that I'm going to put the throw blankets that I think would be best right here for when they are reading and they just want to cozy up to a nice blanket. I'm going to roll these up so that they're easy accessible and they can see which throw blankets are which. In front of the throw blanket basket, I added a cute small basket with some seasonal books. And so far, this is what their space is looking like. I mean, it is just so dreamy and so fun, and I'm so excited that this is how it turned out. I thought the space could use some really cute prints, so I took to Procreate so I could make some prints of my own. I made a horse print, a hen print, and a duck print, and these were all reading based. And I actually made them into files that you could purchase yourself on my stand store. I will have that linked. They come in 5 different size ratio. They're JPEG, and there is a guide that comes with them so that you can size for what you need or what you need printed. I printed these out at Walmart, and I feel like the quality came out really well for Walmart. You can do whatever printing company that you choose. I did the horse print and the duck print in an 8 by 10. I did forget what size I printed the hen. I'm thinking it's a 4 by 6. I think that's the size that I printed. But what you want to do is get the frames that you are going to use for your little gallery, and then you're going to want to measure the frames yourself, not the outside of the frame to the outside of the frame. Measuring the glass itself will be your best bet. I thrifted these frames, that's why I have to measure. But obviously, if you buy your frames new, you won't have to measure because they'll tell you what size you have. Okay, so now that I have my artwork printed, they came out so cute. I can't wait to hang this in their room. Now that it's all printed, I am going to probably touch up these frames because they need to be cleaned. As you can see, they're super dirty. But also, I don't know how I feel about the color. I might just sand it down maybe a little bit and then put a lighter stain on it. I'm not sure. Maybe a lighter or a darker stain. I mean, the color's not too bad. I wouldn't say the color's too bad. Maybe I'll just give it a good wax. Maybe I do a darker wax on it or something, give it some fresh life. But yes, we're gonna start by cleaning it because it needs it, and then I will work on the frames. I started by cleaning the glass itself, and I used an everyday cleaner, the Myers everyday cleaner, and a microfiber towel, and that worked really well. You can use window cleaner or glass cleaner if that's what you prefer, but it got the job done and they look super nice and clean. Now I am going to be sanding my frames. I'm just doing a light sand just to get that top base off and get the wood exposed. I took a clean rag to wipe all of the debris off from sanding. I'm now going in with the Von Schneider clear wax on two of the frames, one of them being the white frame. And then for the other frame, I am using the Annie Salone soft wax, which is in dark. And I'm just trying these out just to see which ones I like better. And so far, they look so good, so crisp and clean, and a little bit distressed and antique, which I love. This is them all polished up and ready to go. Once these bad boys are dry, it is now time to put the pictures in the frames and let's get them hung up. I am actually using double-sided tape again, and hindsight 2020, it really didn't work that well. So I do recommend getting the command strips. They will work a lot better. And there's always the good old fashioned way that you can hang up your frames with a nail and hammer if you get the right supplies or if your frames are made for the nail and hammer. Mine were not, so I had to do some sticky tapes like the command strips. So you do want to use a level, a small level, to make sure that all your frames are level when you are hanging them up. And here is the final reveal. I am so happy with how this came out, and so are my girls. If you stuck around till the end, please comment down below what your favorite part of this reading nook was, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.